and the commentary of our colleague out in Las Vegas, Nevada. We go there, and Howard Cosell.
You're looking at Larry Holmes in his dressing room. The gloves are being put on. He's getting ready to come out to fight Leroy Jones. The situation is exactly the way he would have wanted it to be. He beat Weaver. Weaver shelled Tate. Holmes wants recognition. That's been his theme. That's been his dream. And he's going to get a chance to fulfill it in just a very few moments when he goes against Leroy Jones, a big, fat, blubbery guy, but who is unbeaten. We'll be back. We're back live in Las Vegas, Nevada. And quickly, I'd like to say there have been some very great heavyweight champions of the past, like Jack Johnson, Jack Dempsey, Gene Tunney, the incomparable Joe Louis, now sitting in this arena, Muhammad Ali, and for my money, Joe Frazier, too, and Rocky Marciano. And there have been some very forgettable ones, too, like Jess Willard and Primo Carnera and Ingemar Johansson and some others. What Larry Holmes would like to prove is that he stands a solid and respectable champion somewhere in there. And there have been reasons to doubt that lately. Let's take a look at Larry Holmes's boxing history. Larry Holmes, the WBC current champion, seeks recognition above all else. And judging by some pretty impressive statistics, he should get it. For instance, he can pass Tommy Burns and Joe Louis in consecutive knockout heavyweight title defenses. His 33-fight winning streak puts him right up there with some of the very best. In his 5 title defenses, a total of 43 rounds, he lost only 5 rounds on all 3 judges' scorecards. Looking back at his career, he seemed to reach a new peak in his first fight against Ernie Shavers, using the jab and the ring brilliantly, side-to-side lateral movement. He really creamed Shavers, winning virtually every round for the decision. And then, his classic fight, one of the best heavyweight fights ever, against Kenny Norton. And the 15th round, one of the most memorable perhaps in boxing history, as the two stood toe-to-toe and slugged it out, with Holmes the winner. Then the defense against Evangelista. Indifferent. Of course he knocked the rotund Spaniard out, but was not impressive. The awkward Ocasio, completely outmatched, and Holmes put him away. Then, against Mike Weaver, the first sign of perhaps decline in Holmes. This was the 11th round, and look at Holmes, looking over to the corner. Appeared he might be ready to quit, Weaver giving it to him. But suddenly, in desperation, as the round was coming to a close, that uppercut floored Weaver, and Holmes put him away in the very next round. Then the rematch against Shavers just last September. Holmes again fighting brilliantly, winning the first 6 rounds without trouble. But there, in the 7th round, carelessness, and Shavers floored him. Groggily, Holmes got to his feet, came on to win in the 11th round, but not impressively. Then, against Lorenzo Zanone, this was 5th round action, and incredibly, Zanone was using the jab and winning the round from Larry Holmes. So some suspicions grew about Holmes's efficiency. In the 6th round, Zanone went down, finally, completely, but Holmes did not impress. So there is the boxing history of Larry Holmes. He's coming up for his 6th title defense. Where does he stand among the heavyweights of the past? He looked to be, off his first victory over Shavers and the brilliant struggle against Norton when Norton was still effective, a very solid, respectable heavyweight champion. As I noted, doubts have begun to creep in recently, but he'll get his shot tonight, and in the wake of what's already happened with that stunning 15th round knockout of Tate by Mike Weaver, a man who has lost 9 bouts and whom Holmes did beat, Holmes has a real good shot at the kind of recognition that he has been thirsting for. We'll be back here live in Vegas in a moment.
I have just learned that we have with us...
Back in Las Vegas, the bright lights of the city that lives by night. It's become a kind of second home to Larry Holmes. Now, let's meet Larry Holmes via our talk with him. Larry, we've talked about this before. You're still plagued by the problem of recognition. Off the Norton fight, off the first Shavers fight, you were beginning to get it. Off the Weaver fight and off the Zanone fight, there are doubters again. What do you have to do against Jones to improve your reputation?
The only thing I can do with Jones is keep winning, Howard. There's always going to be doubters in the game of boxing. Jealousy. It was doubters in the game of boxing before I even got in the game. They said I wouldn't make it. I didn't have it. I didn't have the ability, which I prove everybody wrong. And my thing is, Howard, to keep proving them wrong. I'm the heavyweight champion in the world. I think the whole world knows it. There's only one, and it only can be one, and that's Larry Holmes.
You have said you'll put Jones away anywhere from the 1st to the 5th. So obviously you feel the pressure of doing just that, don't you?
No, I don't feel the pressure, Howard. I don't feel any pressure. I just feel like going out there doing my thing. And I had a little daughter named Kenny Lurie, and she was born on March 5th. So I'm trying to make a prediction for her, 5 rounds, and from 1 to 5. Not trying to prove anything, because I don't have to prove anything, because I'm the champion. I'm unbeaten in 33 fights, Howard. That's proof enough.
Jones is ridiculed by some as an opponent. They referred to him as the fat man. Do you find him a worthy challenger?
He has to be worthy by the WBC rulings. He's number 2 in the world, and I don't really care what people say, because, like, they said something about me years ago, and I made them wrong. And I feel that everybody in the game of fighting gets in the top 10 deserves the opportunity to fight for the heavyweight championship too. What makes Jones not deserve the chance? He deserves it. I don't fought everybody. I've beaten everybody, and I'm still going down the line. So let the critics and people be the judges and say what they want to say, and I keep knocking them out. I keep winning.
Well, if you're to knock Jones out, you'll have to go right at him. Does this mean that you won't use the kind of movement you used to use against Norton and against Shavers first time around?
Well, that's a different style of fighting. Norton came to me, Shavers came to me, and they came to me in almost like a Joe Frazier fashion. Jones probably going to try to box me and whatnot, and I'll probably stand him up in the middle of the ring and go right at him and box him. I don't feel that I need the lateral movement with Jones.
The shadow of Ali bothering you?
No, but it bothers a lot of other people because they keep bringing it up. Ali had his day. My day is here. We all know we all come, we all go. I'm not saying I'm the greatest fighter of all time. I'm not going to say I come close to being the greatest. I'm just saying I'm the champion right now, Larry Holmes, and I lead all that other stuff up to the so-called experts.
Good luck to you.
Thank you, Howard Cosell.
That's Leroy Jones. That's Leroy Jones, the number 2 ranked contender. And we'll be talking with him after this word from our local stations. He weighs 254 and a half. Leroy, I want the people to get to know you. South Carolina was the beginning point. How did you become a fighter?
Well, I started out in New York City by winning the New York State Golden Glove Championship in 71 and 72. And went to the National AAU, lost to Nick Wells. Then went to the Olympic trials, lost to Duane there. And then I came back, went back to New York. Then I moved to Denver, Colorado with Bobby Lewis and continued to fight amateur for another year. And then I turned professional.
You mentioned Bobby Lewis, your manager, of course. He was our Olympic boxing coach in '72 in Munich. And I remember when, at a press conference, he said that he thought you were the best heavyweight prospect around. That's how you got together with him, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, we got together actually after I won the New York State Golden Gloves Championship in '72 by going to Canada. We fought the Canadian, but then we went from there to the National AAU, and then from there we went back to New York and we fought the Irish team, and we've been together ever since.
Now, Leroy, in your career, what would you say has been the high point thus far? The easy victory over Mike Weaver?
Well, I think the first one was the victory over Dino Dennis, and then to follow it with Mike Weaver. And that's been about the highlight of my career, you know, thus far.
Larry Holmes doing a lot of talking about how quickly he'll put you away. Do you think that's all talk, bravado, or do you feel that you're ready for Holmes?
Yeah, I feel I'm ready. I feel, you know, Larry's walking around shooting off his mouth, trying to gain this self-confidence and trying to put some fear in me. Mike Weaver says he's going to knock me out also. Dino Dennis was supposed to knock me out. A lot of guys that I fought were supposed to have knocked me out, but I'm still here. And Monday night, tomorrow night, he'll have to prove that he can knock me out. And I don't believe he can. Simple as that.
Much has been made of the amount of weight you carry, even, sadly, a certain amount of ridicule. Does this get to you?
Well, few times, like the last time I fought here, I tried to drop my weight. I moved down to 230, and I was very weak, and I was a lot faster, but I was weak. My punches had no snap to it, had no power at all, and a lot of people, you know, asked me about my weight, and they ridiculed me about it. But it doesn't bother me anymore, because I know the weight that I'm comfortable at and where I'm the strongest at. And the weight that I am now, I'm the strongest at. And that's what it takes to win, you know. And as long as I win, I don't feel that my weight should have anything to do with it. I carry my weight good, and I look good with it, you know. I look good in the ring, and that's all that matters to me.
You said at 230 you were faster, yet don't you pride yourself, even when you're at 250, at how quick your hands and feet are?
Yeah, and not only at, you know, 250, I'm fast, and I'm punching good. Like my last fight here, I hit a guy with 28 unanswered punches, and all he did was laugh at me. So now I'm around 255, I'm punching good, and if that being a knocking out did, it'd be me doing it.
So you're absolutely unafraid of Holmes.
Well, let me say it like this, you know. In this business, you're not supposed to be afraid. You don't have time to be afraid, you know. I'm not afraid of anybody. You know, he bleeds just like I do. He walks on two legs just like I do. And where I'm from, you know, being afraid in New York, if you be afraid, you know, you won't even walk the street. So I'm just not afraid of Holmes. He got to make me afraid of him. He got to bring it to me like I'm going to bring it to him, and make the best man win.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Leroy Jones. As you can see, the fighters are in the ring. Jones to the right of your screen. Holmes bouncing around to the left of your screen. We'll be ready for the WBC Heavyweight Championship fight when we come back in a moment. There's the scene in the ring, live from Las Vegas, Nevada. Chuck Hull, the ring announcer,
This is the main event of the
about
evening.
to make this
15 rounds of
announcement.
boxing for the World Boxing Council Heavyweight Championship. Introducing, in the blue corner, fighting out of Denver, Colorado, the #2 contender, undefeated in a professional career, weighing 254½ pounds, Big Bad Leroy Jones.
Leroy is 30 years of age, 6 feet 5 inches tall, has a reach of 80 inches.
Easton, Pennsylvania, the WBC heavyweight champion of the world, weighing 211 pounds, the Easton Assassin champion, Larry Holmes.
Holmes is 30 years of age, weighs 211, appears superbly conditioned. Working with Larry, of course, his trainer manager, Richie Giacchetti. In the corner, the incomparable veteran, Freddie Brown and Jake Holmes. The trainer manager of Leroy Jones, as adduced in our talk with him, Bobby Lewis, the U.S. Olympic boxing coach at Munich in '72. The cornermen, Joe Teal, Frank Mascherano. The referee is Richard Green. The judges, Charlie Minker, Art Lurie, Duane Ford. Minker cast the deciding vote for Alan Minter over Vito Antuofermo in this ring 2 weeks ago. There's the tail of the tape, the bell, the fight begins. Scoring on a 10-point must system, mandatory 8 count, no knockdown limit per round, can't be saved by the bell except in the final round. It is a 20-foot ring. 8-ounce Everlast gloves. I think you'll be surprised by the quickness of Leroy Jones's hands and the agility and mobility he shows with that huge body on surprisingly quick feet. At least that's been the way he's looked when we've seen him in the past. But that quick left jab of Holmes, first to the face, then to the midriff. First round action, the very beginning of things. Jones is not truly a knockout puncher.
This fight's for you. 500.
What's interesting about Holmes as we look back upon the history that we presented is that he got there with constant movement and with the jab. And in his more recent bouts, he has forsaken that movement. We're coming to the 2-minute point in round 1. WBC heavyweight crown at stake. And there you saw Leroy Jones doubling and tripling on his own jab. Likes to use the weight of that body when he has the opportunity to lean on the opponent and wear him down in the manner that Tate was doing earlier until Weaver caught up with him. End of round 1 at hand, an uneventful round. We're back live in Las Vegas, the start of round 2. First round, as you saw, the fighters feeling each other out. Larry trying to get through with the left jab, doing it occasionally. Jones himself responding in kind on a couple of occasions. Round 2. Larry got into good quick lefts. Leroy with a left and a right. Larry's is a stinging left. I think the strength of his punching has been underrated. A minute into the round. Making more effective use of his jab in this round than Jones. A minute 45 into round 2. You saw the very neat way Holmes picked off a Jones blow with his right glove. This evening started with 2 stunning surprises. Eddie Gregory's TKO of Marvin Johnson in the 11th. Mike Weaver's knockout of John Tate at 2:15 of the 15th round. Sugar Ray Leonard held to form. And now Holmes is holding to form. Sugar Ray with a great knockout. 2:27 of the 4th round over Davy Boy Green. This has been a very good round for Larry Holmes. He's been working the jab effectively, the right in combination occasionally. We approach the end of round 2. Live, Las Vegas, Nevada, round 3. Holmes assuming control of the fight in round 2. He has said he will put Jones away within 5. He was setting Jones up very well toward that end in round 2. Quickness of the jab. Quickness of the feet. Looking to parlay that jab, which you just saw with the right, and again and again. And you saw the pickoff of the Jones blow with the Holmes right glove again. We have gotten a shocking report from Landover, Maryland, that Angelo Dundee was knocked out by a fan as he was leaving the arena after the fight. Our director there, Chet Forty, is on top of the story, and we will report further to you as he gets it to us. Angie in the dressing room right now. Look at those lefts get in there from Holmes. Totally dominating the action. Jones's hands not quick enough to prevent most of them from getting through, though he does pick off some.
That's it. Use that combination stuff right there. Three punches.
Jones got in a good right. On Holmes on the left jaw. Minute left to go. This is the 3rd round.
Catch it coming in. Catch it coming in.
Holmes at 211. Lean and trim, superbly conditioned. Right there you saw what Holmes is trying to do. Set Jones up with that left so that he can get in the right. And hopefully, from Holmes's point of view, finish him off within the predicted time. Holmes missing twice. Jones at 254.5. And we're approaching the end of round 3. That's it. We've just begun round 4 here in Las Vegas. Larry Holmes using that left immediately, as he has been doing so tellingly in the last 2 rounds. While the stature as contenders of the likes of Evangelista and Ocasio was questionable, the fact is that Holmes showed good ability to adjust to different styles, most particularly the crouching awkwardness of Ozzy Ocasio. It was the Holmes fight that brought his reputation into some degree of question. Right there, Jones was hurt by that Holmes left. Slightly off balance as it scored. Leroy Jones, of course, 24-0-1. Never been beaten. And his most notable victory over Mike Weaver, who scored the most notable victory of his fighting life earlier this evening in Knoxville, when he KO'd Big John Tate in the 15th round. This is fourth round action. We are almost to the point where we have a minute to go in the round. No suspicion of a knockdown yet. Holmes has learned the lesson. It is not to get careless. Oh, that was a good right-hand shot by Jones, as he became in the 7th round of the Chavis rematch, when Ernie almost put him away. Toe-to-toe now along the ropes. Larry got in a good left to the belly while Jones responded with several, but that left to Jones's belly did hurt him. You could see the face half frown in pain. The end of the round is here. 5th round action live from Las Vegas. Interesting exchange in Jones's corner. Bobby Lewis, his trainer-manager, telling him, you're at your best when you're in close, and you've got to keep going to the body the way you started to that last round. Let's see if Jones is able to follow Bobby's instructions. Holmes dominating the fight in my personal scorecard thus far. I scored the first round even. The next 3, Holmes easily. Fella looks like anything but a fighter. However, with that huge body and with the quickness of the hands, there is an effectiveness there. He may not be so nearly easy to put out as Holmes had been predicting. Jones has not yet gotten in close, and he has not yet gone to the belly, or tried to. Like to alert our stations along the line. We'll have a station break at the end of this round, barring, of course, a sudden knockout. This was the round that Holmes dedicated to his baby daughter, that he said Jones would go in. Got a minute and 3 seconds left for Holmes to do it in, if he's going to do it. Now Jones works in close, but he's the one doing the holding. WBC World Heavyweight Championship at stake. And we'll be back with more of the WBC World Heavyweight Championship after this word from our local station. Hi. Round 6. We're live at ringside in Las Vegas. Again, Bobby Lewis exhorting his charge. You're looping your right hand, he told Jones. not finishing off with your left hook. And you still have yet to go to the belly. But now, Holmes quicker with the hands. Scores with a left and right combination, and then doubles and triples on the left jab. Not easy to follow instructions when you don't have the capacity to do it based upon the level of the opposition. Jones is not fighting a statue. We are about a minute into round 6. Later report on Angelo Dundee. He is awake. He is stable. He did suffer a very mild concussion. He had been knocked out by a fan. That report from Landover, Maryland. A minute and a half gone in round 6. Holmes, as you can see, dominating the flow of the fight, fighting his own fight, being careful. Forgotten was the prediction of the quick knockout. Scored well there. A minute left. Holmes is really leveling Jones now. He's using the right much more frequently and using it well. Round 6 is winding down. And what it's amounting to now is target practice. As Jones's left eye continues to swell, and as perhaps he begins to grow fatigue. Larry scoring at will. There you see it. Here's the end of the round. We are into round 7. That left eye of Leroy Jones. Above the eye, it's like a huge, angry boil. That's the nature of the swelling. Bobby Lewis complained to referee Richard Green that Holmes was thumbing Jones. I've seen no evidence of that, frankly. It was Holmes who claimed that Weaver thumbed him in their prior fight. We've had some good fighters on this undercard tonight. Alexis Aguayo, the super featherweight champion of the world, fought a tough veteran cookie and fought him brilliantly, won the decision. Tommy Hearns, forgive me, knocked out Santiago Valdez in the first round. Hearns continues to be almost awesome. Seventh round, WBC heavyweight crown at stake, and Larry Holmes having a ball. At this point, I would say the only round that might have been in doubt was the first round, when each fighter was extremely wary. All of the others I would give to Holmes. In close now, Jones tries to use that 254.5 pounds to maul Holmes, but it didn't work. Back to ring center, and Holmes with the quick hands, steadily beating Jones to the punch. Less than a minute to go. right by Holmes. Then a follow-up left and another good right. Jones fighting wildly now. Perhaps the first sign of desperation. Look at that. The end of the round. Now, let's go down to Knoxville, where our colleague Keith Jackson is with Mike Weaver, who had himself one fight tonight.
Well, Howard, I'm not sure it's really seeped into Mike as to what he has accomplished, though the grin breaks out every once in a while. Would you like to see the knockout?
Sure, I want to see what I didn't see.
You know, this is the first time in the annals of heavyweight boxing that anybody has come into the 15th round, had to knock out a man in order to win a championship, and Mike Weaver did it tonight with only 45 seconds remaining in the fight. And here's how it happened, Mike.
Yeah, I see. They was telling me about throw the right hand to the body, follow a left hook, and I thought with the left hook was my best punch, you know.
It worked tonight, my man. Oh, yeah. All right, let's go back to Howard in Las Vegas.
Thank you, Keith. Congratulations, Mike Weaver, and you just got a glimpse. Look at that left eye of Leroy Jones. 8th round action here in Vegas. Pawing with the left, nothing behind it, as you can see, and not connected. Holmes getting 2 quick ones, a third, right in there, 4th, 5th. A minute into the round, it is the 8th round. Jones's head stationary, and thus a pure target. Not slipping punches anymore. Hasn't been for a long number of rounds, only in the first round. Kenny Norton made an interesting comment to me earlier. He is in the arena. He said Holmes's problem is he's without stimulus, without incentive. He's so much better than all of the others around. Uppercut now. Jones a wide open target. Jones ready, it seems to go. A little bit wobbly. 20 seconds left in round 8. And Larry throwing everything he could into it. Give Jones credit for gameness. He tries to fight back, but his body is just falling into the corner directly above us. And they're stopping the fight. And it's a good thing that Richard Green did. One has to be concerned about fighters in the wake of 4 recent deaths. He is completely pooped, bagged out. Jones's face tells it all. It was 2:56 in the 8th round. And Larry Larry Holmes remains the WBC heavyweight champion of the world in a fight that from the first round on was no contest. Look at it again.
Ladies and gentlemen, the time.
That left hook, and that left hook, and that right, and that right. And now, Jones's huge body just falling back into his own corner. And Green interceded. Larry being sponged off by Richie Cicchetti. And he'll be coming down to talk with us in just a moment. And there is the beaten warrior. And we'll be back to talk with Larry Holmes here in Las Vegas in just a moment. Here he is, the winner, still the WBC heavyweight champion. You had said you'd finish him off in 5. He wasn't that easy to finish off.
I couldn't finish him off in 5. Leroy know how to survive. That's a little poem from Ali.
You certainly fought it your way and most easily.
Yeah, well, Leroy is strong. He's a little stronger than I expected. He hit me in the 3rd round, Howard. My ear's still ringing.
That right.
Yeah.
He got you with that wide right.
Yeah, he's a little stronger than I anticipated, but I think I proved myself once again to the people all over the world. 6 title defense, 6 knockouts. I'm going for Joe Louis' record, 7 knockouts while he held the title.
And Tommy Burns at 8.
And Tommy Hearns at 8.
Burns.
I'm talking about Hearns. But I'm going for, they say, the greatest heavyweight of all time.
All right. Off what you saw happen to John Tate tonight, what are your plans?
I'm fighting again in May or June. I hope on ABC.
Will you fight Weaver again?
Weaver, yes. Weaver have proven himself. He's the champion of that side, so-called champion, but I think the people know who the real champion is, Howard. I don't know what I have to do to prove to people that Larry Holmes is a champion.
All right, Larry.
Right, Mom?
This is the finish of the fight. His body falling into that corner again and again and again. And you giving him everything you had. You started to use the uppercut from the 6th round on. More effectively.
Ernie Shavers. I went back to Ernie Shavers. But Leroy's strong. And I'm just happy that I was blessed to win again. I know my Reverend Jacobs was praying for me in all the Second Baptist Church. And I know without them or without God, Larry Holmes would not be the heavyweight champion of the world.
That was Leroy we were just looking at, his disappointment written across his face.
I think every fighter that goes in and gives his best shot for the crown, I don't feel that they should be disappointed. But they have to realize they're fighting the best heavyweight in the world. I don't compare myself with the other greatest. I just want to be Larry Holmes, Howard, a fighting champion, a people champion, and your friend.
Okay, we'll be back in just a moment here live at ringside in Las Vegas, Nevada with Larry Holmes. Maybe Ali will talk about that. Stop chewing on your championship belt, Larry.
I was trying to put a teeth mark in it.
One final question. In the mercurial nature and ways of Muhammad Ali, what if he now says, with Tate having been knocked out by Weaver, I want Holmes?
I don't need Ali. He needs me.
That's right.
I'm the champion. Ali was the champion of yesterday. I'm the champion of the day. In order for Ali to get recognition, he needs Larry Holmes. If he should fight again, he should fight the baddest heavyweight in the world. That's Larry Holmes. I'm fighting champion. I'm a people's champion. 34-0 with 4 knockouts. 25 knockouts, and Ali will be 26. Old man, stay home in your rocking chair.
Okay. Good luck to you again. Congratulations. Now we want to go to Landover and look at Sugar Ray Leonard's knockout of Davy Boy Green once more.
72 Olympics, my man.
Okay, Howard, at 2:27 of the 4th round, after a brilliant display of combination punching, look at the reflexes, and the powerful left hook will knock Dave Boy Green of Chatteris, Cambridge, England, down on the canvas for much more than a full 10 count. And Sugar Ray Leonard, in his first title defense, won his 27th fight. There were 2 knockouts here. That was in the ring. Charlie Brotman is Sugar Ray Leonard's public relations representative.
Sugar Ray's manager, Angelo Dundee, was knocked cold after the bout. Charlie, can you give us an eyewitness report?
Yes, in short, Sugar Ray Leonard's victory was marred by his manager being knocked out. And normally the manager goes to the boxer's training room. This was just the opposite. What had happened, as soon as the fight was over, the trainers, the manager, myself, everyone came with a group down through the crowd inadvertently. There were some people that were blocking the way. Angelo had asked one of the fellows, please move aside so we can get through. The fellow turned around and just blasted him one right on the jaw. But thank goodness, the doctor says that after he recovered, that the jaw is okay. There was a slight concussion, but now he's smiling, and now he knows how his fighters feel sometime.
And we can certainly see why Angelo Dundee wouldn't want to come here and talk to us. The same was true of Davy Boy Green, who took one of the hardest left hooks we've ever seen thrown, perfectly timed. We were in the dressing room. We saw him. He was coherent. He was conscious. But wisely, his manager, Andy Smith, said that he was not in a condition to talk to us at this time. But Andy Smith, Harry Gibb, the British referee, I asked them what they thought of Sugar Ray Leonard. I asked them mainly about his speed, and they each came up with powerful words. Harry Gibb said, the boy is brilliant. Andy Smith said, he's the greatest welterweight he had ever seen. Okay, here in Landover, Charlie, thank you very much. Glad to report that Green and Angelo Dundee are okay, and of course Sugar Ray Leonard is an elated champion. Let's go back to Howard Cosell.